From calorie count to portion sizes, we wanted to find out the biggest differences between Subway in the US and in Australia. This is Food Wars. Standard Subway sandwiches in Australia come in two sizes, a 6-inch and a foot long, which is a 12-inch.
The subs in the US also come in two sizes, 6-inch or foot long, which is 12 inches. In 2013, a Facebook post went viral after someone measured their foot long to be just 11 inches long. A lawsuit was filed, but eventually dropped because the plaintiff's attorney learned that the breads arrive frozen and are stretched, then baked in the store. So there is going to be some discrepancies in the size and shape of each sub. I guess we better check and see how long our foot long actually is.
It's a foot long.
I actually think this might be a little over 12 inches. To me, it looks like it's 12 and a half to 12, maybe 0.7 inches long. The US offers catering. If you order the Easy Order sandwich platter, you get 5-foot-long sandwiches cut into 3s for a total of 15 pieces.
Australia also has a catering menu. Our platter is called the Classic Sub Platter, and it is the same as the US. So they weren't able to give us the party sub, which I am devastated about because I didn't realize that a party sub was actually 6 foot. I have an idea of my mind what 6 foot would look like, but I don't actually know. I need to measure this because I need to see. That is how big the Subway would be. Who has a big enough oven to cook this? The drink sizes in Australia are not quite straightforward. We've got 2 standard sizes for your soft drinks. There's a 390ml bottle and a 600ml bottle. But then the other drinks come in a range of sizes just depending on the manufacturer.
We keep things a little simpler in the US by having fountain drinks, and they come in 4 sizes. You can get a small, a medium, a large, or the gallon. This is a gallon of lemonade. Subway does also sell bottle drinks, and they come in a range of sizes.
Here is everything that you can find in an Australian Subway that you can't find in the US.
And here is everything you'll find on Subway's menu in the US that you won't be able to find in Australia. One thing to note is that Subway lets you customize your sandwiches in whatever way you want, but for the purpose of this video, we're only going to be looking at the advertised menu items. Otherwise, we would be here all day.
We have 3 types of bread in Australia. We have wheat bread, white bread, and malted rye. And the malted rye looks really, really nice. Look how squishy and soft that is. Hello. Do you want to eat me?
The US has 4 types of breads: artisan Italian, artisan flatbread, hearty multigrain, and Italian herbs and cheese.
Let's start with our subs. In Australia, every advertised sandwich flavor is also available as a wrap or a salad. Wraps come in a white, gluten-free, or a multigrain. And our salads can be a small or a large. For the fillings of a sub, wrap, or salad, you can get a 3-pepper chicken tender. Ooh, there is a lot of mayo, and that chicken is heavy. And we have our barbecue pulled pork. I didn't know what I was expecting, but that is a lot of barbecue sauce on that. And then we have our chicken and bacon ranch melt. So I know that you guys in America love your ranch dressing. Ranch isn't that popular here. I can't see any cheese, but I presume there would be cheese because if you're calling something a melt. Oh, there's bacon as well. This is so good. I don't know why we don't do much sandwiches or anything with ranch. I really like ranch. And then we have our chicken classic, which I presume just might be like a chicken schnitty. Chicken schnitty is chicken schnitzel, obviously abbreviated in Australia. It's just a nice piece of chicken, really simple. Just a good classic chicken schnitty sandwich, really. And now we have our chicken schnitzel, which is weird. I thought that was a chicken schnitzel. I swear that the chicken looks the same. What makes this a chicken schnitty and the other one just a classic chicken? Oh, I guess that's not crumbed, but it looked crumbed to me. This is more crumbed than that. So now we have the buffalo chicken, and apparently over in America, you don't use the same sauce as we do. I'd like to know what sauce you guys use, because this is looking like, to me, a bit more of a sweet chili sauce. A slight spice towards the end. Now we have our leg ham, And then we have our pizza melt. God, they did not shy away from all that salami. Then we have our seafood sensation. What is a seafood sensation? I don't want the sea in my sandwich. Who's ordered this? Surely not. So basically all that inside, that's crab. We call it here like crab stick, I guess, but it's like processed crab. I don't know how much crab is really in it. That's a crime. That's a criminal offense. And now we have our smashed falafel. So in Australia, we have a really large Middle Eastern culture that's influenced a lot of our foods. Oh, all my Middle Eastern friends would be so disappointed right now. I want to see how this compares to other falafels. And now we have our steak melt with a smoky chipotle sauce, and then our veggie delight with avocado. Ton of veggies stacked on a multi-grain rye roll. My favorite one was a ranch. I love the ranch. Bring more ranch to Australia, please.
Okay, so what do we got? This is the buffalo chicken, and then we have the cold cut combo. I kind of want to see what's in this one. I don't think I've ever tasted bologna in my entire life. Should I taste it? It tastes like a combination of ham and salami, but I'd rather just have ham or salami. It's a little salty because of all the meat in it, but bologna is just okay for me. This is the BLT, a grilled chicken. The steak, I kind of just want to see what the vibe is with the steak. What does it mean to have steak at Subway? You know? It looks like to me the same beef that they use to make their Philly cheesesteak sandwiches, that like shredded beef. That's not that bad. Then we have the turkey and ham. We have roast beef, ham, rotisserie chicken. This is the pizza sub. It is like soaked through the paper. I think we need to try this one. I've never had the pizza sub before. It smells very like Italian herbs and spices, tomato. So it's not pizza sauce, it's marinara sauce with big pepperonis. There are also some green peppers and red onions in here with lettuce and some cheese. It's not as satisfying as just eating a pizza. I don't get it. This one's a miss for me. The pepperoni does taste really good though. We also have a veggie delight and a spicy Italian. Then we have the Subway Series subs. This is a collection of 12 sandwiches that was introduced back in 2022, and they've added 3 more options since then. If you don't know what the Subway Series sandwiches are, they're preset sub options. So instead of you going down the line and picking everything that goes into your sandwich, these are all like preset options. We have the Grand Slam ham and the Titan turkey. Both of these contain 33% more meat. I don't really know why. I'm gonna try to rapid fire go down the list of all of these sandwiches that are right in front of me. So please be nice. We have the garlic roast beef, the beast, the Philly, teriyaki blitz, the outlaw, the monster, the hot shot Italiano, the ultimate BMT, supreme meats, the boss, all pro sweet onion teriyaki, the elite chicken and bacon ranch, the great garlic, the sliced avo mexicali, pickleball club, the all American club, the Subway club, and the sliced avo turkey cali club. After a while, none of these names sound like English to my mouth or ears. I do want to see what the great garlic looks and tastes like. I love garlic. I don't think I've ever had much garlic on a sandwich now that I'm thinking about it. I definitely have. I'm just like blanking on what sandwich it was. It looks like it might be the grilled chicken pieces or the rotisserie chicken pieces. There's lettuce, red onion, tomato, definitely some probably garlic mayo or garlic aioli, and shredded cheese, which I feel like I haven't seen in a Subway sandwich before. Aioli! Oh, that's a cute baby name. I never thought I would say this. I think it's too garlicky. The aioli is just a bit much. I feel like if they just dialed back how much they put in the sandwich, it wouldn't be so overwhelmingly garlicky where that's like all I can taste. But unfortunately, it's not bad though. It's just like too much sauce. I do want to try the pickleball. I love pickles, so I hope this is pickle heavy. If not, why the name? There's definitely pickles. In the pickleball, we have red onion, lettuce, tomato, honey mustard, ham, obviously pickles, and bacon. I don't know about this one. It feels like all of the ingredients aren't necessarily working very well together. It mostly just tastes like red onion. I just feel like our quantities are a little off. And these two are actually online exclusives. This is the Champ and the Bella Mazza, which, if you recall, was the sandwich that I would be if I was a Subway sandwich. Because why wouldn't I want to be the prettiest sandwich?
In 1975, Subway created its flagship sandwich, the Italian BMT. The acronym originally stood for Brooklyn Manhattan Transit System, but later was known as the biggest, meatiest, and tastiest. Both countries' version of this sub are a little different. In Australia, our Italian BMT contains salami, pepperoni, and leg ham. Let's try it, shall we? Is this the biggest, meatiest, and tastiest sub I've ever had? I'll find out. I would never personally ever think to go to Subway and get 3 different meats on a sub. I don't know, that thought just never crosses my mind.
In the US, our Italian BMT contains Genoa salami, Black Forest ham, and pepperoni. This is such a meat-heavy sandwich. It's so heavy. It's dented the bread so bad. I think that I would like this more if the ham just wasn't there. I feel like it's not really adding anything, but the salami and pepperoni do taste really good together. This is not bad. I really like it. I like whatever vinaigrette dressing that they have on it is really, really tasty. This is a pretty good sandwich. What's up with leg ham? It's the leg of ham? It's the leg of the pig. You're allowed up to 10 toppings when you customize a sub at Subway, and we actually noticed that there are a few exclusives that you can only get in the US, like American cheese, pepper jack cheese, provolone cheese, Monterey cheddar, banana peppers, and we also have some exclusive extras like the Belgiozio fresh mozzarella and capicola ham, also known as gabagool. I know Harry's gonna want me to say gabagool. What if we combined as many US exclusive toppings as possible into one US only sub? That's what this is. So the US only sub is made up of the hearty multigrain bread, the cold cut combo, which is ham, salami, and bologna, pepper jack cheese, the Belgiozzo fresh mozzarella, banana peppers, creamy sriracha, and yellow mustard. This sounds awful. It doesn't look any better, but I'm going to taste it. It's sub. The sauces are doing a lot of work right now in covering up all the weird flavors, but yeah, don't get this. It's not very good.
We also have some exclusive toppings in Australia. We have our natural cheddar cheese, our mozzarella cheese, and our Old English cheese. Oh, that looks really orange. And in some locations, you can even get beetroot and pineapple. Pineapple and beetroot are really, really popular in Australia. Like, we love pineapple or beetroot on our burgers. It's not a surprise that Subway stocks pineapple and beetroot. I think it's really weird that it's not everywhere. Like, I would have assumed that it'd be at all Subway stores. Our exclusive extras are a double meat and smoky bacon. And carrots, which is an outrage. I can't believe you don't have that in the US. What about an Australian only sub? And here's one with malted rye, a chicken schnitzel, smoky bacon, Old English cheese, and then we have Thousand Island dressing and blue cheese dressing. It was just like too many flavors, too many creamy textures, too many creamy sauces in it. Like, this is not a true representation of Australia.
Subway also does breakfast, which I had no idea about. You can get any of the following in either a wrap or a flatbread. So we have the bacon, egg, and cheese, the Black Forest ham, egg, and cheese, and the steak, egg, and cheese. There's like a bunch of folded egg in here.
Here are our exclusive breakfast items that come either as a sub or a wrap. Starting off, we have our bacon and egg sub, and then we have our ham, egg, and cheese, and then we have our ham, tomato, and cheese.
On to the sides. In the US, we have a lot of chips. It does vary depending on which Subway you go to, but at our Subway, we have Doritos, Classic Lay's, Baked Lay's, Harvest Cheddar Sun Chips, Miss Vicky's Jalapeno Chips, and we also have a Go-Go Squeeze, which is like a little applesauce pouch for babies. Or adults. I would enjoy one of these.
And in Australia, these are our exclusive sides. We have an avocado toasty, which looks disgusting. And then we have our cheesy garlic toasty, our garlic and herb toasty, our Southern style chicken bites, and now we have our meatball mozza pot with 6 pieces. of little meatballs in there. That's yum. It's like the same meatball that they would put on your sub. And then we have our Chipotle quesadilla, which just looks a little bit sad, really. Then it's just a bit of sauce and 4 pieces of onion and our chips. So our chips come in our Smith's Crinkle Cut Original, our Smith's Crinkle Cut Salt and Vinegar, and a new and limited edition Smith's Meatball Sub Crinkle Cut. There's nothing meatball-y about this.
You know what time it is. It's time for Sauce Talk.
Sauce Talk.
We have mustard, oil, red wine vinegar, creamy sriracha, buffalo sauce, sweet onion teriyaki, peppercorn ranch, and Baja Chipotle. I want to know what the sweet onion teriyaki tastes like. It looks very gelatinous. The flavor's not as strong as I'd like it to be. I feel like I'm mostly getting the oil. Peppercorn ranch. That is a really good ranch. I like how it's got a bit of acidity to it. It's like tart, more tart than a regular ranch is. That is really yummy, actually.
Here are all the sauces that are exclusive to Australia. We have the habanero hot sauce, a blue cheese dressing, we have a smoky barbecue, a chipotle southwest, a sweet onion dressing, ranch dressing, tomato sauce, spicy mayonnaise, Thousand Island dressing, and sweet chili. I only have a plain chip, so that's what we're going to work with. I want to try the habanero hot sauce because I do like a bit of spice. That is spicy, and I thought I played it too safe because I didn't put too much in my chip, but oh my god, I want to try sweet onion. That's a nice sauce.
We do have one exclusive cookie flavor here in the US, and that is the oatmeal raisin cookie. I love oatmeal raisin cookies. They're underappreciated. I love Subway cookies because they stay soft and chewy. It's really, really good. I could eat 10 of these.
And we have one exclusive cookie flavor in Australia, which is the chocolate chip rainbow cookie. So I presume it's filled with M&Ms. That's yum.
So something amazing happened when we went to go pick up our huge Subway order. They actually had the foot-long cookie. So obviously we got it. We have to try it. Look at this. They also had a foot-long pretzel and a foot-long churro. These two are collabs. The pretzel is a collab with Auntie Anne's, and the churro is a collab with Cinnabon. Two of my favorite mall spots. Come on. Oh! The texture is honestly not what I was expecting. It doesn't really taste like a normal chocolate chip cookie. It more so tastes like a cookie cake. Let's try the pretzel. I love a pretzel. It's a good pretzel. The churro. It's all right. And to finish off the exclusives, we have some drink options that you can only get in the US. We have regular coffee, chocolate milk, Diet Coke, Hubert's lemonade, Subway fresh brewed iced tea, sweetened or unsweetened, Dasani water, Gatorade Cool Blue, Honest Kids Superfruit Punch, Simply Lemonade, Simply Orange, Simply Apple, Vitamin Water Power C, 1% low-fat milk, Monster Energy Green, and Monster Energy Zero Ultra. So sorry that you don't have Diet Coke in Australia, but I hear that you guys like Coke Zero more anyway.
Here are our exclusive drinks. We have our Coca-Cola Vanilla, a Coca-Cola Vanilla Zero Sugar, our Raspberry Fanta, Mount Franklin, that's just spring water, our Powerade Mountain Blast, Powerade Flowberry, our Pump Water Berry, our Cascade Lemon Lime and Bitters. Now, interesting story with Lemon Lime and Bitters. Lemon Lime and Bitters is a classic Australian drink. Over 100 years ago, Lemon Lime and Bitters was invented by an Australian who basically found a way to cure seasickness. It's so popular in Australia, grabbing a Lemon Lime and Bitters drink. And I remember, I think every Aussie kid can definitely relate to the first time they had Lemon Lime and Bitters. And because bitters has like a touch, like the ever so slightest bit of alcohol in it. So you'd have a sip and you'd be like, oh my God, I just had some alcohol. This is wild. And then we move on to our Lipton iced tea in lemon flavor, Lipton iced tea in peach. And then we have our V energy drink and our V energy blue drink. V energy drinks are very similar to a Red Bull. It's just an Australian energy drink. We have our daily orange juice and our Just Juice apple.
Subway was founded in 1965 by Fred DeLuca and Peter Buck in Connecticut. Now it has the most stores out of any fast food chain in the entire world. Back in 2014, it was reported that Subway served about 7.6 million subs every day.
Subway landed in Australia in 1988 with a store in Perth. Now we have 1,215 stores, and that's as of July 2023, which is the largest number of stores outside the US.
That still pales in comparison to the 20,000 in the US.
Unfortunately, Subway's had to close over 200 stores in Australia since 2015, as people's eating habits have changed and fast food became less popular and the pandemic took its toll. If you see Subway modernizing stores and streamlining the menu, it's part of an attempt to stop that trend.
Until 2022, Subway had barely updated its menu. The Subway series that we showed you earlier is probably its biggest menu update in its 57-year history. Also, as part of its PR drive, in July 2023, Subway was offering a lifetime of free subs if you legally changed your name to Subway. And according to the sandwich chain, nearly 10,000 people entered the competition. You guys, don't change your name to Subway.
I wouldn't say that I go to Subway often. I would go to Subway if I am keen for something relatively healthy.
I definitely do not go to Subway often, if ever. I used to go a lot in high school just for the cookies, because that's honestly my favorite part of Subway.
I actually really do like Subway. I love the meatball sub as well. The meatball, oh my gosh, the best thing to get when you are kind of being a bit cheeky is a meatball sub with the Italian herbs and cheese. Oh my God, unreal. I love it so much.
I don't love Subway. There are so many good sandwich places around me that I've never felt the urge to, and I don't think their sandwiches are that good. They're like passable. A good turkey sub from Subway does hit, but it's not something I find myself craving. Which country is getting the better deal on its subs? Let's compare a turkey footlong sub in both countries. In the US, one of these will cost you $11.49.
In Australia, a turkey footlong sub will cost you $12.95, so it's actually cheaper in Australia.
In the US, you can get a Subway meal that's kind of like a combo through their catering. This gets you a footlong, chips, and a cookie for $10.99.
In Oz, we can get a similar deal called a sub box, which includes a footlong, 2 cookies, and a 600ml drink. This will cost you $23.60 AUD. Let's compare the classic turkey sub to see if there's any differences in calories.
In the US, a turkey footlong sub contains 540 calories, 8 grams of total fat, 80 grams of carbs, 12 grams of sugar, and 1,680 milligrams of sodium.
In Oz, a turkey footlong sub contains 526 calories.
The most calorific item you'll find at Subway in the US is the Beast. This is a footlong sub and it has 1,460 calories.
The most calorific menu item in Australia is the 3 pepper chicken footlong sub, which has 1,002 calories.
Over the years, Subway's come under fire for some of the ingredients they use in their sandwiches, so here's some of the claims that we thought we would talk about that we found interesting.
The first controversy was the petition in 2014 for the removal of a word that I cannot pronounce, but I'm going to attempt to anyway, azdodecarbonamide, found in bread products in fast food chains such as Subway. What is azdodecarbonamide, you ask? Is a chemical compound used in the food industry as an additive to condition dough and bleach flours, predominantly in white bread and cereals. However, its other use is a blowing agent to make foamed plastics in products like yoga mats. The petition grew a lot of attention, and just days later, Subway announced they were phasing out the ingredients. While Subway was targeted for its healthy food claims, Other major fast food chains such as McDonald's and Starbucks were also subject to the use of the chemical.
Secondly, Subway's bread was brought to the Supreme Court in Ireland after it was found to be too sugary to be classified as bread. It began when bookbinders, an Irish franchise for Subway, didn't want to pay taxes on the bread, arguing that it should be classified as a staple food. However, the judges found that the bread was part of the confectionery category because of the ratio of sugar to flour was nearly 5 times too high to be classified as a food staple, according to Ireland's Value-Added Tax Act of 1972. The sugar in the bread can only contain 2% of its weight from the flour, whereas Subway's bread options contain 10%. Subway's response was to defend its ingredients, and a spokesperson for the chain said Subway's bread is, of course, bread. In the UK, the bread is still classified as bread, but with a higher sugar content, so it's just Ireland who will have to pay the higher tax.
In 2021, a lawsuit was filed against Subway claiming the tuna in the sandwiches was anything but tuna. In response to the claim, Subway insisted the tuna was high quality and 100% real, and they even launched a website called subwaytunafacts.com. Following these claims, a reporter from the New York Times published a lengthy report where they sent samples of the tuna from Subway off to a lab to be tested. The lab concluded that either the meat was so processed that they could not detect tuna, or a different substance was being used.
In 2023, the customer who filed the lawsuit asked to withdraw the claim, saying that she was pregnant and needed to focus on her health. The claim has been dismissed and cannot be brought again to court due to their agreement.
Stop it. Subway would make you try and legally change your name so you would get free subs. Imagine all the money you'd be saving. Does that mean you can get free subs in the entire world, or is it just strictly to the US?
Do you want to do it?
I'm considering it.